page 190, looking at landscapes. If you read this first grade book in this series, then you learned about two kinds of paintings. Painting portraits and still life. Now let's learn about another special kind of painting called a landscape. The most important thing in a landscape is the scenery, which includes the land, the trees, and the sky. A painter can put people in a landscape, but they are not the main focus of the painting. When you look at the landscape painting, try to notice the weather, season, location, and time of day. This painting by the American artist Thomas Cole has a very long name, but it's usually called the oxbow. An oxbow is a U-shaped color placed around the neck of an ox so that it can be hitched to a plow. Can you find something U-shaped in this scene? Do you see the bend in the Connecticut River? You could almost divide this painting in two parts. One part shows the landscape close up. The other shows the landscape far away. Look at the left side of the painting, which shows the close-up part of the landscape. What is the weather like here? Do you see the broken tree trunk? What do you think might have happened to this tree? Now look at the faraway landscape on the right side of the painting. What is the weather like? This painting shows two very different views of nature. On the left, close to us, nature is dark and wild. But on the right, nature looks bright and peaceful. Now that, page 191, continue line 18. You've looked carefully at the weather in this painting. Its real name won't surprise you. It's called View of Mount Holyoke, Northampton, Massachusetts. After the thunderstorm, did you notice a person in the painting? The picture in this book is much smaller than the real painting, so it may be hard to find him. Look near the bottom, a little to the right of the center. Who is it? An artist? Why? It must be Thomas Cole painting a landscape. But in this painting, it's easy to tell that the landscape is more important than the person. Now let's look at a landscape by the Spanish artist called El Greco. This picture view of a Toledo shows us the city of Toledo in Spain, where the artist lived for hundreds of years ago. Can you point out a river, a bridge, and many buildings? What is the weather like? What time of day do you think the artist is showing? It might be daytime with the sky darkened by the thunderstorm, or maybe it's nighttime with moonlight breaking through storm clouds. Either way, the sky casts a spooky light over the whole scene. What kind of mood or feeling do you have when you see this painting? Is it the kind of picture you would want to use on a poster saying, "For your next vacation, visit Toledo"? Landscapes don't have to be of real places. They can also be of places you imagine. The French artist Henri Rousseau never visited a tropical jungle, but he did many paintings like this one called Virgin Forest Rousseau. Page 192, continue line 56. Learn about jungle plants and animals like monkeys and lions from encyclopedias, science books, and visit to the zoo. But he did not try to copy them in a lifelike way. Look at the plants here. Rousseau painted many plants and made them very big. Does this landscape look like a place you would want to visit? Before you answer, did you notice the man wrestling with a jaguar? Rousseau's colorful, dreamlike jungle is beautiful, but it is also dangerous. Look at the painting called The Starry Night by the Dutch artist Vincent van Gogh. What do you notice first in the painting? What do you see in the bottom half of the painting? What do you see in the top half? Van Gogh's sky is full of circles. Use your finger to follow some of the curving lines that Van Gogh painted in the sky. The sky seems to be moving and swirling around while the town below is calm and still. Van Gogh applied the paint in bold, thick strokes. Even though this is just a picture of a painting, you can almost feel its rough texture. The Starry Night activity. Make a landscape of your own. First you need to decide whether it will be a real landscape or imaginary one. Then decide what you will use. You can use colorful tempera paint, colored pencils, or markers. Think about the mood or feeling you want your picture to have. Think about the weather, the time of day, and the light. Will it be dark and stormy and spooky, or bright and sunny and peaceful, or something else? Will you put any people or animals in your landscape?